Yo, what is going on, survivors? Welcome back to another grounded video. If you guys have not checked out my other videos or subscribed, definitely consider doing so. We are going to be doing a lot of grounded content. We are going to be doing a playthrough on Grounded 2, and as well, I am going to be doing a playthrough on Grounded 1 soon. I've already beaten the game, but I don't have a playthrough on the channel, so if you guys are excited for Grounded 2, definitely consider checking out my content. And yeah, let's hop into this. We are doing a reaction to the Xbox Games Showcase Deep Dive for Grounded 2 on Xbox's channel on YouTube. So let's get into this. We're going to be skipping around here and there, but let's start off right here. This is the introduction. We're not going to do the entire introduction, but we're kind of gonna get glimpses of each section in this video and see what we're missing, see what's news coming out, because I'm really excited and I want more information on what they're planning to do for the game and kind of what their idea is. So let's hop into the introduction.
Yeah, so excited to have you. I just want to ask, like, we're talking about Grounded 2, just revealed at the Xbox Game Showcase. What does it feel like to be able to say Grounded 2? Because I know for so long you've had to keep it under wraps, and now the world knows
Yeah.
about it.
It's a pretty big change. It's
Yeah.
awesome. You know, one of the most important things, one of the things we're most excited about is getting out there with the community and actually talking about the game and actually being able to use the title Grounded
Yeah.
2. It's a really exciting time for us. We're super geeked about it.
Excellent. Well, okay, so Marcus, you're
Yeah, because Grounded 1 was so good, and I've mentioned this in the other video. If you guys haven't checked that video out where I did a reaction to the full trailer, definitely go check that out. And I was like, I really have enjoyed PlayStation more than Xbox. Xbox 360 was really good, but I was more of a PlayStation guy. And when I switched to PC a few years back and I played Grounded, I was like, wow, this is one of the best survival games I've ever played. And it was from a studio from Xbox, Obsidian's studio. So it was like, wow. They really blew me away, and I was like, this game is really good. So the fact that they can actually talk about Grounded 2 now, the fact that they've had to wait, I'm pretty sure they've probably been working on this since right before Grounded 1 1.0, like full launch. They've probably been working on Grounded 2. So I'm really excited because I didn't even know that they were working on a Grounded 2. So this is like really insane to hear and really exciting.
the executive producer. So tell us about, your history with Obsidian and Grounded 2, and just I want to hear everything. Ready, set, go.
Well, I've been working with Obsidian for about 6 years now, and at Obsidian for 4. The Outer World was the first game I kind of worked on with Obsidian, but Grounded was really, really near and dear to my heart. It's also the first game tattoo I ever got. I got a burgle tattoo on my arm after
Wow.
we got 5 million players.
Cheese and fries, a burgle tattoo.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So Grounded means a heck of a lot to me, and I've been working with kind of the original Grounded team, and then
that on
trying to
his
be the
arm?
shepherd into the future to help kind of keep making more and more Grounded forever and ever.
Grounded through and through, including your incredibly loud shirt, which will
Incredibly loud. I mean,
amazing 90s theme.
Yeah,
And
I thought that was like
And taste
And tasteful.
I
thought it was raw
you
science
gotta
for a second. Doesn't it kind of look like it?
commit to the bit. You know what I mean?
That's
So.
right. Now, Chris, you're the game director for Grounded, but you're also a founder at Obsidian, right?
Yeah, that's correct. So yeah, I've been the game director for Grounded 2. It's been pretty exciting for me actually because I really, really loved the first game. I think my save game is at like 200 hours, So like, it was a really exciting opportunity for me to work on this. But yeah, I'm one of the founders of Obsidian. So I've been there the whole time since 2003 when me and 4 other guys left Black Owl Studios. Went out on our own, went to Fergus's attic and
4 other
started up a
guys.
company, and somehow managed to build it into Obsidian, which is crazy to me because to me it still has that sort of like that attic feel where all we're doing is trying to make cool games that we love that we want to play and at a place where we would want to work if we weren't the founders, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is really cool. Imagine like you and just 4 other people leave a studio and you guys have this huge vision for a game like this. and you get to work with a huge studio on your idea, and like so many people love it. The game's amazing. Like that's insane. So let's move on from the introduction to what's different in Grounded 2. Uh, really exciting to see what they've got and what they're gonna show us. So let's see.
So, as you can all probably tell, just guessing here, I'm obviously a very big fan of Grounded, right? I have put hundreds of hours into it. I have played on weekends with my squad. The screams I have scramped, the tears I have cried from laughter. I love this game. So tell me about, what's different, what's new, what can I look forward to that I had with Grounded 1, and what can I look forward to that's going to build off of that?
More scramps.
More scramps.
All the scramps.
Yeah, so when we started talking about Grounded 2, I mean, the first thing was, what are all the things about Grounded that we just can't change? Because the game is so freaking good. If anything,
Yeah, because you can't like rework a game that's already insane. You know, it's like there's so many companies that take these older games that were so popular and they're just like, oh, let's change everything about it. And then it's like, oh, well, we don't like any of the new changes. And it just doesn't make sense, you know?
we're just going to level them up and make them better. And one of the things we did right off the bat was go to all the community feedback that we had from the first game. Number one feature that the community asked for, which was let us ride around on insects, which we call buggies.
So
People
cool.
always want new biomes and new environments. What are just simple quality of life features that we think we can add into this game? It just brought it all together and started saying, how do we make this like the best Grounded 2 we possibly could?
I always think about it in the three big buckets of, a whole new world and a whole new story, right? With moving from the backyard to a bigger space in the park. So it's
So we actually had the park. Okay, so we're in a park. They're on a trash can. We've got a hot dog stand. We've got a picnic table, lamppost. Looks like some pine trees.
2 years later from
We got a bench back there, another trash can.
Grounded 1, and there was an event that is happening at Brook Hollow Park, which is the city where Grounded 1 takes place. Some shenanigans go on, and we find our cast of teens shrunken again and needing to figure out what happened, why it's happening, maybe battle against Ominent or not again, and other mysterious figures that might be cruising around in Brook Hollow Park. So for our game preview launch, it is basically Act 1. It'll take you quite a bit more time to get through the main story of this one, but there's a lot more to come.
Which I
We're
enjoy,
putting
thank
just
you.
enough in there so that as we
Longer
go
story.
through early access, people can see and understand kind of what we're doing, who the characters are. They can also give us feedback on that. And then again, at 1.0, that's when we're really going to come in with thicker, deeper story and really add to it, make sure that everything that we're building really works together and that the community digs it too.
I love hearing, almost every time you all mention something that you have put in or you develop, the community comes into play. And I'll talk about that in a second. But because it is me, we're talking about buggies. We're absolutely talking about buggies, and I need to know right now. So, okay. Tell us everything. What can you do?
So this is the
what kind
next
of buggies
section,
do we
just
have?
talking about
What can I
buggies.
get excited for? Can I dress them up? I need to know all this right now because I know everyone else will want that information too, but mostly I'm asking for me.
The biggest thing that we had in our minds from day one with regards to buggies was they're not just something you ride. They are integrated into the entire survival experience.
We wanted to
that's
focus
a really good
how you
addition.
use the buggies. And the first one we developed is the Red Ant Soldier. And this is sort of like a general purpose buggy, right? So it can do, again, almost everything that you can do on foot, you can do while you're riding that Red Ant Soldier. So you can fight on that soldier, you can cut down your grass and pick up the grass. It actually has a gather mode. So if you go and just like mow the lawn, so to speak, then you can just hold down X, he just hoovers everything up for you without you having.
Sorry to interrupt, like that is, I think, a quality of life feature that only like the core fans will get. Like if you ever have to go get all the thistles to go like make your arrows,
right?
It can be kind of annoying, like having to click and gather every single one. So when you can just toggle on gather mode and it's just like a vacuum cleaner that sucks them, it feels so much better.
It's totally true. But also you can get back to all those verbs, right? You can place blueprints for construction. You can actually build directly while you're still on top of the buggy. You can eat and drink and manage your inventory. And of course, that red ant soldier has its own inventory.
so
So if you're
cool.
full, you can go and like load it up with stuff. So you know, you don't have to go back to base to put everything away. And then, you know, critical, you can fight while you're on the buggy, but you don't only fight on the buggy because they also make a really good companion character. So you can jump off. They will go ahead and attack whatever you're fighting against too. So you can use them either as your sort of front line or as a tank for you if you want to, which is great to have somebody else kind of with me in the game as a partner and somebody that can help me fight.
The other thing I love with using the red soldier ant buggy is you can actually go into ant hills with the buggy, and then the other ants won't attack you. But it makes it feel
that's
kind of
so
like this
nice.
off-road ATV underground experience that you get from exploration.
Wow, it looks like they got
standpoint as well.
I
attacked
love
down there.
all of this. I love absolutely all of this. But you have left out one very critical, crucial feature.
Crucial
Please
feature.
roll the footage.
We have footage.
We got footage.
Oh yeah.
You can pet
course.
the buggy.
I mean,
Confirmed.
I'm pretty sure this is like the first feature we put in for the buggy. I mean, before
Yeah, it
anything
was
else,
very
it was
early.
like let's make sure you can pet him, and you can see here it's an orb weaver.
But I just want to add the other thing that you can do is, of course, you can name your buggy. You
Oh,
can make
yeah.
Yes.
you
Yeah.
can make a nest for it.
Nest is
Yeah, well,
nuts.
you need to fall in love with your buggy. I think that's a great thing. You know,
Can my
Or
buggy-
you don't need to fall in love with your buggy. Like, okay, I personally have some buggies that I name Sacrificial Lamb, and that buggy is to,
Don't
you know, be a meat shield. So that way I can accomplish whatever I need to accomplish in the game. And then I have other
Wow.
buggies named Parker
Right.
that I care about very deeply.
I hear you
Wow.
saying sacrificial lamb, which I'm a little bit anxious about. Can my buggy die?
Oh, Jim.
But
I
yeah.
I know. I'm sorry. I have to ask because I get really attached to these things, like real bad.
So the answer is yes. but hold on. This is another one of those things where we can't wait to put this out into the community and see what the community says about this. If you're on the easiest setting, mild or medium, then what happens instead is if your buggy goes down and you don't revive your buggy, it goes back to its nest and it has to chill out there for a few hours and recuperate.
Game
If
out.
you
Yeah,
put
that's
it
so
on-
good.
Yes.
Okay.
If you have it on the hardest difficulty, though, then permadeath is a thing if you want that challenge and you want to always have buggies in reserve in case you lose one.
Wait, can I have a sled team of buggies?
You can have a number of buggies, yes, at any given time.
Nice.
Speaking of the Orb Weaver buggy, so this is much more of like a late game ad. You're going to have to play through a lot of the game preview version to actually get this recipe, to obtain the necessary materials, and then to get this buggy. Your Orb Weaver does not help you build a base. What it
Yeah.
helps you do is just beat the crap out of all the other insects because it's big and it's bad. It does a ton of damage. Its special attacks are all about webbing up other insects, doing roars to actually stun and terrify other insects. It's a really fun, really fast buggy to run around on.
You'll notice there's these spider web bridges that, like, if you try to walk across them, good luck. It'll take you like an hour in game. But if you have your Orb Weaver buggy, you'll be able to navigate and get to places that those Orb Weaver buggies can reach. And with the Red Soldier Ant, there's
That's
these
so
routes that
cool.
are kind of spread all throughout the park
Mhm.
that they can chomp
What
through
the-
those routes, so you can kind of get through and find kind of like hidden secrets or little, you know, milk molars or anything
Wow.
like that. The other thing that we really wanted to make sure we did was have this be a feature that the community sincerely helps us develop over time. We actually thought really early on about having a lot more buggies besides just the soldier
Snail.
ant and the Orb Weaver spider for a game preview launch. But we decided to pull that back to first see how everyone plays with them. What do they like? What features are they requesting? How are they using them? Are they doing things we never expected? We wanted to roll out more over time. And so one, we'll hear what you all want and kind of see like what kind of rises to the top. But two, it'll make the buggies better because we didn't kind of overdo it right out the gate. And
Mhm.
so that was another thing that was, I think, really important to us to make sure that they were a really, really fleshed out feature and they were really
Yeah, that looks
expanding
really
the
good.
way you played Grounded, not just being a mount.
I love that.
It's such thoughtful game design, right? Like, it's
100%.
not just tacking on something just because you
Yeah.
can. It's like building the world around it. It's great to see that you all are going to take some of their feedback, some of their experiences, and kind of build off of that with future buggies.
For sure.
Yeah, that was insane. So now we are moving on to archetypes, which is like classes, armor, stuff like that. So let's see what they have to say about that.
Right out the gate.
But
And
let's
then we'll
talk a
have
little bit about
community.
archetypes in the game. Like, you all are taking a interesting philosophy with this. Obviously, not wanting it to lean in too much into like kind of class-based systems. But tell us a little bit about the archetypes in Grounded 2.
We're starting off with 4 of them. There's like a
So
warrior.
we've got the new inventory layout,
Grounded 2.
We're starting
kinda. It looks pretty nice.
It
Doesn't look too bad or anything.
A ranger, a mage, and a rogue are the basic D&D types. And these aren't classes that you'll select, but there are things in the interface to help the player understand. Like if I want to go
Scorpions,
do
they look
this
so good.
today, maybe with all my friends, I'm going to be the ranger who's going to support them from a distance. Oh, I should take this armor. I should take this weapon. I should select these mutations right now.
The
And it will really
mutation
help
HUD
guide
looks
that player
nuts.
experience in a way that we think will just sort of make playing Grounded easier and more fun.
We have 10 completely new armor types in the game, and I'm a big armor fan, and seeing kind of how cool the mage armors look. We have an evolved ladybird armor that just looks like kind of like real sword and board kind of feeling. And just like Halo, you got to dual wield when you get to the sequel, right? I mean, that's the obvious choice. But go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, no, I was good. When we looked at the rogue archetype, we were like, we just have to have dual wielding. So those are actually orb weaver fangs that she's turned into her dual wielding dagger type, basically. And with the rogue, like you might do a little bit of sneaking, but that's not really what Grounded 2 gameplay is all about. Like with the rogue, what you are is sort of like your glass-jawed, heavy damage dealing melee fighters. But we also
It's not all about sneaking.
The ability to dash. So when you're playing a rogue character, you tend to dash in and out of danger. You could also dash in and do like heavy attacks, which are pretty cool. So there's a lot of new and different options there. We knew that we wanted to go deeper on the mages than we did with Grounded. He's wearing butterfly armor there, which is very nice, very magey armor. And so we did a bunch of work on the staffs and just sort of improving how that felt and how it
Cockroach.
worked. Why is he celebrating like this?
I just love the butterflies like majestically in the background as he's like slow-mo celebrating. This is
His
great.
destruction of a cockroach, which is just showing off a lot of like really new stuff. It's like almost overwhelming to try to get everything.
Cockroaches, because I feel like I'm not afraid of insects, but there's something about cockroaches that I don't know why do you add the game. It's bringing up childhood trauma for me.
Does not like the cockroaches.
This game actually got me over my arachnophobia. I'm not even joking. So I work with Obsidian and Social Impact a fair amount.
So yeah, this looks.
You know, we got some secrets with the cockroaches we'll do. We're gonna let people discover those over time. But to Jen's point, the more you experience and play, you do get more comfortable. And I do think it helps a little bit. I don't know. I still think I hate cockroaches. I don't think I can deal with that. But it does help you kind of appreciate the bugs a little bit more. And we hope that we make them too in a way that makes them feel fun and interesting.
Yeah, it's in the it's basically summer now, and we have had to deal with a lot of stink bugs. And every time I see a stink bug, I'm just like, I just think of Grounded, and it's just cool to think of it like that. Yeah, it's cool to just think of like how I've played and fought them in the game, and they're like so
not
big.
Just gross.
Let's talk about the community for a second, because again, as I mentioned previously, and as you all have mentioned ad nauseum, there's just so much community involvement. And so obviously there was a lot for the community involvement in Grounded 2. Talk to me about what that was like. Like, how have you leaned in already? Obviously, you talked about the features from Grounded 1. How do you plan on leaning in future updates, and what does that look like for all of you?
As we were going through this initially, we were like, we're always going to be compared to the completed Grounded 1. But we felt like the risk of putting out the game preview early access thing was so much more worth the reward of what we get and what it evolves to. If you think about where Grounded 1 started to where it is at today, it is like
nuts.
an astronomical difference. It's like mind-blowing. Not just all of the players, but all of that progress came from the player feedback that we got. Peeper mode, if you're familiar with Grounded, is an example of something that came from the community where, you can cup your hands together and then you can identify weak points. Certain creatures came from the community, like the mantis, which we evolved and actually made a little bit smaller and more present in Grounded 2. Even in pre-game preview and early access, we've actually already been practicing and gathering kind of community and playtest feedback throughout the course of development. It's fun to be a part of like where you feel like an insider. You're like, oh, I suggested that thing. I made that thing.
So it's so good. I think it's a proven formula, right? Build the base version of your vision for what Grounded 2 can be, but then utilizing the community and their feedback to really like bring it to life and have them develop alongside. And we've seen things like cosplays and all these community interactions where they really are just falling in love with the world of Grounded?
Well, I'll jump in real quick and just say the other thing with community and building this game Grounded 2 was that we knew that we wanted to have a partner in development. And so it took us a while to figure out who that partner was going to be. But we're pretty excited about working with IDOS, who is up in Montreal, IDOS Interactive. And not only do they share a lot of the same sort of like just basic tenets of like game development with us, like storytelling and character progression and all that kind of cool stuff. They all really loved Grounded. They were already part of the community. And so when we went to them and said, like, hey, we want to make a Grounded 2, it's going to be super, super important that we go into game preview and early access and that we make this game with community. They were on board from the very, very start.
Chris and I are a tiny, tiny fraction of the teams that get to bring this to life. And between the internal teams at Obsidian and all of the incredible people at Eidos, like thank you for letting us come and represent the game.
Yeah, that's it's pretty insane. This is just the final thoughts. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video covering some of the features, and I'm sure that there are a few other videos that I will dissect and look into. This was it was kind of less dissecting. They talked a lot about what was coming, the buggies, and a few other things like the class types, which are really cool. I feel like these are huge additions to the game. The fact that you can actually do stuff with the buggies, the fact that if you're not playing on an insanely hard difficulty, or maybe it's just a setting for permadeath, the fact that your buggies go back and like recuperate, it's so cool. And the fact that they have these like web bridges that you need to get across with the spiders, or if you do it by yourself, it's gonna take forever. And then you've got the roots that the ants can chop. It's just so cool. But if you guys enjoyed this video, definitely consider subscribing, liking, comment down below if you guys played Grounded 1, if you guys enjoy Grounded, if you guys love this game, if you guys are excited for the second game. I will be doing a playthrough on Grounded 1 and Grounded 2, so definitely stay tuned for that and check out my other videos. I appreciate you guys, and yeah, stay tuned. I will probably do some more reaction videos, some dissecting videos, and seeing what's going to be new. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.